manager for Clinique for quite a few years. And I have bad back problems, and then I ended up breaking my sacrum this summer, and the Family Leave Act didn't extend long enough to, for my injury to heal, so I ended up losing my job. And I was looking for something that I could do that wouldn't be 8 hours of sitting or 8 hours of standing or just. And he is friends, and we are friends of Randy Shipp, who shares the office with Carol. And he was just talking to him on the phone one night, and he says, I share the office with someone who sells bras for a living, and she seems to do pretty well. And then my husband sort of offhand said that to me, and I said, well, that sounds like something I would be interested in looking into. And so I contacted Carol.
Very good. All right. Now, see, all of our listeners tonight, you just never know what people are looking for, and we're so busy thinking to ourselves like, oh, she wouldn't be interested. And here's a lady who had some real needs, and she and her husband even saw she had those needs. And so I'm just saying, everybody's got to have an open mind and ask everybody. So, okay, now, Sean, we're going to go to the next step here.
Okay.
What did you say to Carol to get, find out where, did you come in as a customer first, or did you want to get into the business right away?
No, I wanted to get into the business. I contacted her and made an appointment to meet her at her office and just discuss the business opportunity.
Aha. So in other words, you hadn't had the bra on yet.
I had never seen it, no.
And so now you jumped right over that, right into the business. Now, what made you think that you saw it was going to be such a great business? Because Carol was doing so well?
Well, I didn't know until I went and spoke with her, but it just seemed like something that there would be a need for, and I just wanted to talk to her because it seemed like something I'm used to selling. I like dealing with people, and it just sounded like something I'd be interested in looking into. So. Until I went down to see her, I hadn't seen the bra, I had it on, and I wanted to make sure, of course, that you can't sell something that you don't think is good quality or whatever. So, she had me, fit me in some of the bras and then just discussed how the business worked and how well she had done. I didn't know she was one of the top people, so I might have had sort of inflated ideas of what I could do, but, I would be great if I did as well as Carol. But I am just looking at this point to replace the income I lost.
Right. Oh.
And I got a little part-time job. And one of the reasons I took it is because it will be great for networking. Yeah, I took a little part-time job in a hair salon today. They called me and asked me to work, and I thought, well, I could meet lots of ladies there that need undergarments and bras. So I thought that was just, one day a week, that would be great. So now I'm set to go. I haven't sold anything yet. Carol's coming over tomorrow night to discuss things. I got to get computer savvy and get the business end of it down, but I've got my room and I've got everything that I need to go except the bras.
Excellent. Okay, so in other words, you're a businesswoman. You got into it because you could see this was a unique product that every woman needed and wanted.
Right.
Even though you hadn't tried it yet.
Right.
Good girl, but you were sold right away in the concept. Excellent.
Right.
So Carol showed you that, actually not convinced you. You just saw it because she was such a good sponsor. She just went ahead and explained everything.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay, let me ask you a question. Did you ask at all how much money you'd have to spend, or how did Carol ask you for that?
I did. I'm not quite sure how it went, but, of course I did. And she explained to me basically that I could invest basically a small amount or a large amount or whatever amount. And, of course I said to her, well, if I invest more, I have more inventory and I'm more likely to sell more. And I had a figure in my head. And then when I said that to her, I think it was just a little bit less than she had put out when she was starting out. And, I thought it was a figure I could handle. And because I was getting a settlement from an automobile accident, and it hasn't come in yet, but I borrowed it against my home equity, and I'll just pay that back when it comes in. So that's how she explained it. It wasn't like I had to go and spend X amount of money. I could do what was comfortable for me to start, and it depended on, what I wanted.
Excellent. Okay, well, Sean, so what you're saying then is that you realized and you kind of talked to yourself, you kind of sold yourself for the fact is, I've got to make an investment in order to have the bra on that lady. So that's very good. So you could see that it was a good business investment, and you were in charge of your business. That is absolutely excellent. So now you're going to go into training, and that's the most important thing, is to get trained, because the sponsors, actually our sponsors, that's what it is that they guide you and help you get started, and you're going to do very well. Okay, now is there anything else you would like to share with us, Sean? Then otherwise I'll let Carol kind of summarize, and I appreciate your telling and sharing, because I think it's important for our listeners to hear your point of view, not the sponsors, but your point of view, and you really enlightened, I bet, a lot of them, because that was really exciting to hear from you tonight. So is there anything we'd like to summarize on, Sean?
No, just that I'm really getting excited about starting. I have a cute little studio in my home, and I'm right in the downtown area. And I've got a lot of questions, but Carol's coming over tomorrow night. My husband has his own business, so he's very business savvy, and he'll help me with the things I need help with. And, I should be ready to, get going in a week, and I'm just looking forward to being my own boss. So.
Girl, well, you're in the right business, and let's face it, it's a product every woman needs and wants for the rest of her life. So that's good. Okay, I'm going to let Carol kind of summarize now. So, Carol, I was really thankful that you had Sean on tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I would mention is, she got Sean was trained the bra training class Black had last weekend.
Right.
And then her inventory does arrive tomorrow. And as Sean mentioned, I'll be going over to her home, and we'll be going over the ordering how to do an order and whatever questions she has. And then I think what's really great is that her husband Carlos came to the training.
Oh, good.
With exception of obviously the fitting part. And I think, my husband attended the training too, and I think that is just absolutely what's going to make Sean a success, because he's going to help her with the things that she may not be as strong with, the accounting, the inventory control, and those kinds of things. And he's also, marketing savvy too, and what with her background, having managed the Clinique products and that, I think she's going to do
excellent,
just great.
And, and I think also what you said along that line, Carol, is the fact is that when husbands do get involved, it helps them to know what you do, and they can help you and not hinder you and say, well, are you going out again? This way they understand it, and they in turn support it. And I know when we had your husband on one night, Carol, onto the conference call, boy, he just rattled off all the things that he thought was great about the business, and it makes a good team. And so I think you all work towards the same goal when you're working together. He doesn't necessarily have to be that involved, but boy, if he's going to be of help to you, it's sure a big help. So I appreciate that. All right. Well, I think we had a wonderful conference call tonight, and I want to thank Deborah for bringing on April Freeman and Carol for bringing on Sean Burlar. We really so pleased to talk to two wonderful new recruits who came into the business and are going to be good leaders, and they look like they sound like they're really excited about the business. Now, I don't see where they came in with any unusual circumstances. It's just that I think the most important, all of the people listening tonight, is let people know what you do and be proud of what you do. Excite people. If you're excited, they get excited. And there's not a lot in the world that comes along each day that gets us excited, but boy, when somebody gets along and they like what they do, people look at you and think, wow, she really is excited about what she does. What is it? I want to find out. And then also, do they have to be a customer first? Well, we heard tonight that's not necessary.